and bacchanal. It's not in we nature. Money in we pocket. This life I want love it. All late and bacchanal. It's not in we nature. Food on we table. A good and a evil. We can jump up and wave. I thankful for life. To see another sunrise. Me to one up in the air. All the stress on your mind. Put them problems aside. And give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray and give thanks, yeah, for another day. Don't forget to pray. I'm thankful, but be mindful. I'm so grateful. For a new day, for a new day. Hey, I'm thankful, I'm thankful, Lord. Always be thankful.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. All praise is due to the Almighty Creator for the blessing of life. Every blessing is a challenge as well. So the blessing and the challenge of life, we give thanks and praise to Him. We ask Him for guidance, for strength, for humility, so that we could learn, so that we can live in accordance to the way He wants us to live. I think we need to be extremely mindful that in life, the key to life is living the way that our Creator wants us to live. I want to repeat that again. I think the key to life is understanding that we should live in the way that our Creator wants us to live. He should be our guide. So we say in the teachings that I have been given that the beginning of wisdom is the knowledge of God. That the beginning of all wisdom. You know, you might think you're bright, you're cunning, you're intelligent, but the beginning of wisdom is that knowledge and that understanding of God, which obviously means the understanding of self as well. And it's a constant learning process. We ain't born big. Morning to everyone. We ain't born big. Right? We born quite small. Scary small, right? And by the grace of God, we grow. And we learn. We learn continuously from our environment, from what we see. We see hatred, we see advantage, we see abuse, we learn. We see goodness, we see love, we see kindness, we see sacrifice, we learn. By listening, before they even put us into formal schooling to learn language, we learn by listening. That's why if a child is having difficulty speaking sometimes, or you check the hearing one time. Because what you get on the outside is what goes in, and then what you can put out. I say that, and I want to say this morning that I continue this effort to try to share whatever knowledge I have or I get. I have been learning over the last few weeks. I don't even understand how much I learn over the last few weeks. You know, interacting with new people, looking at new situations, just looking and listening, I've learned so much. You know, I've had the privilege to be able to speak to people from different walks of life, kinda, you know, from different places. People from all the way in Moruga, people from all over. All right, good morning, Chief Eric. I drive so far into Moruga. I was like, where we going? You know, because it was the first time interacting with human beings. I saw so many similarities and some little different stuff and ideas as well. And whatever I learned, I could learn it yesterday. I want to share it. I want to share it as well so that other people can benefit as well. Knowledge is unlimited. I do not lose knowledge by sharing knowledge. So I was watching, and I'm watching the processes of the way that we manage our affairs in this nation, right? I'm watching the way that we manage our affairs. And we have a system where we have this electoral system, and of course there's some challenges with that system as well. And the real realization of what's supposed to be democracy, we have some challenges, and we spoke about it past. And this is the other thing as well I just want to mention as I go into the topic. It is not because I may support something at some point in time that I will say that nothing is wrong and I am happy because the outcome is what I may have wanted. That's not correct. I think we must have the maturity as well that even if we win, so to speak, or we think we are on top in a system, and the system needs changing, needs improvement, then we should be the first ones to say, hey, you know, these changes need to be made for the betterment of all, even though it might not be to our personal benefit. Understand what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? We have a challenge in Trinidad and Tobago where a lot of power is concentrated around a prime minister. A lot of power, a lot of responsibility. And we have spoken in the past about it being not the best thing. We've spoken in the past about it being a challenge to democracy because they're supposed to have a certain level of separation of power. People who could check other people. It can't be that nobody can check you. It can't be that absolute power corrupts absolutely. No? So all of the power is vested into one, and that person could do terrible things. For example, could bully us, could whip us into line, could tell us we're not going to have no internal election or nothing, we're not going to do that. And if you have a problem with that, I go deal with you because I am, and I have so much power vested in me. So if we have a system that is somewhat set up in a way that causes that issue, yes, we may have a good leader at a point in time who will not abuse the power. But what about the case when we might get a bad leader, a despot, a bully or whatever? Maybe we should change the system enough so that it protects the people from those kind of pretenders, because a person could pretend real nice. Like, I could probably pretend real nice. As a nice, yes, I love your thing, giving out money, wherever, yeah, thing, whatever, and you all say, boy, he's the best thing ever. I go and support him. And then I get into a position of power where I don't need all that no more. And all the pretending I was pretending. Pure hate. Right? Morning, my brother Ned. Pure hate. And only acting normal. You understand? So, if there are systems that we could change, let us change them to protect the people in the future. Let us show that is a whole different level of goodness in leadership. Who gets into power in office and takes away their own power from themselves? All you hearing me? All you understanding me? Who goes into power and limits their own power to the benefit of the people? You have to be really, have the interest of the people at heart, love in your heart to do that. And if we get a greater separation of powers, if we find a way to create offices that are not to the dictate of the political leader who wins government, so to speak, that would be helpful. So that it could balance. Somebody could check somebody. So for example, if a police commissioner is more independent, is not dependent so much on the Prime Minister veto to agree this person, then that person will be able to actually check even the Prime Minister. Like if they do something wrong, the Prime Minister can't just fire them per se, and they could actually, investigate and charge a Prime Minister who doing something wrong. Don't we want a system like that? We don't want a system like that? I'm just saying, what we really want. Likewise, a Chief Justice. If we could give our magistrates some better independence and autonomy away from this Chief Justice as well, and even the Chief Justice, the selection process as well, then they may be able to adjudicate over matters coming from government in a more fair way. But that maturity, that justice, we had to now put that in our heart and in our minds. We have to believe in fairness and justice. Might is not right. It's not because somebody in a position of power that they're right. I see somebody talk about lick behind wherever, right? Wherever. All I could say wherever all they want about whoever, even me. That is all their business, right? But I would like Trinbagonians to stop kissing up so much. Like it's almost a culture where we so in fear, we feel we had to kiss up now. And that's not good. That's not good. We should still have the independence to be able to tell somebody the truth. We should still have that strength to say, hey, I didn't like this. And it's not because whatever economic situation is flowing from you that I'm not going to tell you, hey, this is not the right way. You shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. And strong leaders love people around them who are able to check them and correct them. Strong leaders. And I remember my relationship with my father. So when I see things or I'm concerned about something, I would always be the first one to say, hey, Abu, which means father, right? Abu, you know, this thing, you sure this, whatever? Careful with this, whatever. And he always gave me that ability to feel safe in advancing that to him as a leader. I mean, he went independent. Woodford Square once and say, he sent me to learn law and become a lawyer, and now I'm only arguing with him, right? I really laugh. But that is our responsibility around people who are in authority. That's our responsibility. Our responsibility is not to blow smoke up everybody, boom. It is to find respectful ways to speak to our parents, even when mom, dad, well, I don't really think this is the best way. You know, what do you think about this? I hear you say something, you know, but what about this? I know you're telling me to live in your house, I had to vote for whoever, but I don't like these policies and stuff, and, you know, I want a better future for myself, and I feel this might be better. You know, that kind of safe space. Let us respect each other. Let us cultivate a society where we respect one another. Every man is a man. You know, I want to encourage the ministers as well, especially MPs as well, to leave your doors open. Leave your doors open to the citizens. You might find advice, excuse me, you might find advice and direction that will assist you to be really good at what you are supposed to do. Let the people be able to check you. Don't go into administration and, you know, scare your office. Listen. We are 2 ears and 1 mouth. So we should listen twice as much as we speak. So I've just been learning, and I want Trinbagonians to also learn how our society operates and think about better ways in which we could improve our society. And what I've realized is, as I've interacted with people, citizens, or all sorts of people, even people in certain responsibilities, people have really, really good ideas. You know how much proposals people sending me? I don't know, right? How many proposals? Tremendous proposals too, you know, for free. Like, people just sending me tremendous proposals on how to develop Trinidad and Tobago. A brother from Bagatelle, he have a comprehensive document on how to help develop youth and whatever. Like, really, really good. And he just has not been able to have anybody listen to him. Like, something that if I take as a minister of youth and whatever and I implement, gonna be real good, help out youth, improve the circumstances of youth, make me look real good, you know, because I guess that's part of it in politics, right? And people like just they don't want it. He offered it to other people as well. Another really nice individual, you know, sent some pan and community programs, etc., and some ideas for a rural area and stuff. Just tremendous ideas. And these people love Trinidad and Tobago so much, they're saying, well, we don't want money for it, you know. They don't even want money for things they have conceptualized and put together and researched and what. They just would like to see it done for the benefit of Trinidad and Tobago. We blessed to have good people in Trinidad and Tobago. On the contrary, it has some people who they go into offices all the time and they ain't studying that at all. Oh boy, I'm sorry for all you with Auntie Kamla. I'm sorry for all you because how much people she fired last time? I'm sorry for all you. And let us embrace that Trinidad and Tobago. Let us embrace a leader that if you're doing stupidness, she going and fire you. And let us not chastise her for that. Because it's Trinbagonians she had to work with. And we's tricky daddians. We just play nice. All you know that? We just play nice. We nice, we think. Yeah, boy, we about country. We love Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, we want to serve things. Yes, blah, 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 blah. And all in we mind, all we thinking is fame and fortune. There's some people in religious organizations right now, waste of time. All them thinking is fame and fortune. Them ain't studying the people, they ain't studying representing the people, them ain't studying what's best for the people. They're so out of touch they thought PNM was going to win. First, they don't understand the cries of the people on the ground. You have to be deluded in La La Land, dreaming, smoking something that ain't even good. Go and get some good thing from the Hills Beach or something. Go and get something good. As you're delulu, as the young people say. You have to be so out of touch. You have to be imbert. Or who real out of touch, boy? Marvin Gonzalez and, oh God, Keith Scotland. You have to be Keith Scotland. To be dreaming, thinking that PNM going to win and I go keep up my contract and money and whatever. So I stick into PNM. When the people suffering. When people was suffering, like people still catching because things ain't really catching yet. Every single day someone reaches out to me, not 1, 2, 3, with a serious situation where they are in need. Every single day. And there's only so much I could do. Sometimes I can't even read all of the messages. I can't even take all of the calls. I certainly, within my capacity, I can't even help everybody. When I tell all you hold on till tomorrow or next week or whatever, it's because I'm waiting for money to come, to take that money that I'm expecting to come to give you. There's so much selfishness that has been bred into the society. Individualism, selfishness. And we had to correct that. We had to change ourselves. All you feel government could change and the situation could change just like that. We need to change ourselves. Some of the people who in positions of leadership, they all need to change themselves. They need to listen properly to what Ms. Bissessa is saying, the Prime Minister, and change even themselves. Get in line with the ideals that we are trying to push throughout the society. Get in line. You're in a religious organization, a church, a mosque, a mandir leading it, and you studying money, bling, and you want to be the biggest and wherever. And that is not of God. That is not of God. Give, help, share, give till your last. When I tell you give till your last, borrow, I borrowing to give sometimes because I understand the perception of our people. Okay, you could tell them yes 10 times, the one time you tell them no. He's a dog. They look up to you. They look up to you and they last hope sometimes. And if you tell them, I can't do nothing for you, or you ignore them, they might go and hang themselves. God forbid. Do not give up hope. Do not give up hope. Sometimes it takes a while. You break down, you go down to nothing. But once you have life, you could catch back up yourself. I remember a partner, a fellow, well, I just know him wherever. He ended up straight on, all the way down on the streets. Sleeping on a bench around the savannah. Pain. I used to see him, I'll talk to him, I help him out, thing. I say, boy, you catch back yourself. And he catch back himself now. You know, my people in Trinidad and Tobago lost their car, lost their house, had to move back with their mother. Pressure in this place, in this society. Current cut. Pressure in this place. Well, thank God, Wasa does love you. Wasa does really love you, you know. Respect to Wasa. Not that we take advantage and not pay we bills. Right, I'm paying my bill, Wasa, right? Thank you very much. I just feel the pressure too. Pressure in the society, pressure. But we have to be strong. Hold on to hope. Don't give up. Don't let the loss of those things as well destroy you mentally either. Today you have, tomorrow it gone, it could come back. We're born with nothing. Keep striving, keep struggling. If you sincerely ask Trinbagonians for something, a little help, you know, 1 in 5 you might get help. We still have a little love. For those who have a help who don't have no. Don't wait, you see somebody, don't wait for them to come to ask you if you could help them. Just give them. Spare them that. Spare them that. I give a woman $100 the other day. I could see she on that little thing, right? Because she asked me for a little help. I give her the $100 and she asked me if I was sure. If I was sure I could afford that. You know, I had to think about it myself, but well, why would, if I give her $5, right? And it's something to eat, she will have to ask her next person for $5 because $5 really can't buy nothing again. And if she have a child home and I give her $5 or I give her $10, the least of what I could give her, then she had to go and suffer the challenge of having to ask somebody else. What's wrong with us as a people? What's wrong with us? And I'm saying, as a mass of people, we have to help each other. Who we feel going and help us. Yeah, okay, I will beg again. Every morning I come on the program, I will beg the rich in the society to share. But regardless, among ourselves, how a worker, a working class person, how you cannot support unions fighting for better wages for you? Or they'll understand the level of madness in the society too. How we could be so poisoned by jealousy or envy or hate that we is working class, but we're not involved in the unions or whatever. And because we're not involved in the unions, and we're not represented by them, we vex them going and get more money. What wrong with all you? And we're so simplistic and ignorant and evil in our thinking. We're not even understanding that when they get money, we get money too. Because they will spend. And we shop and we parlor and we wherever will benefit. Our major problem in Trinidad and Tobago is the distribution of wealth. It's not that Trinidad and Tobago broken. Don't get it twisted. Whatever there is in this blessed country, if we share it, it will be enough. Okay, as a big businessman, wherever, you want to exercise your ability to generate profits and wherever and feel yourself great, wherever. When you're done raking $1 billion in profit, right? 500 million. Then redistribute it in the society now. Keep 100 million for yourself. Understand the importance of keeping everybody afloat too now. Understand that if you are too greedy, you will destroy the whole society. The crime or the instability, the social decay, where you will be uncomfortable as well, is a byproduct of your greed, your unchecked greed. We need you to lead in this society in a fair way. You lead in business, you need to lead in a fair and just manner. Ease up the place. And I pray that our leaders, our representatives, like our actual representatives who's supposed to speak on behalf of the people, I hope they could speak that message to you. I hope they could say, hey, listen all you. Come now. Help make Trinidad nice now. Or they have breakfast and lunch with the chamber of commerce with all. Please, leaders, or they have lunch with them. But in the middle of the lunch, in between there, hey, you know, is it possible for you? I saw you made 500 million in profit this term or this year. Is it possible for you to really redistribute some of that money into the society so it could circulate? And, you know, can you lower the cost of some of your goods and services that you providing to the population? You know, you have a monopoly in this, you know. You know, you have a monopoly, the people have to buy from you. You know, but that could change. But if you want it to remain that way, well, you know, make it cheaper, make it affordable, let the people have this and have that now, please. Let us understand this system, all you. Let us understand the system. Let us organize ourselves as people together. Yes, the organization is coming. It might already exist. Speak to your children, speak to your brothers and sisters. share the little life, share the ideas. It's not a disrespect to the big boys in society, right? It's just we asking all you. Because you all have such an important role to play in the society. And we don't want things to get worse and worse. Why you have a Trinidad and Tobago when all you have all your children coming out? All you have 2 security with all your children. Understand how you all are part of that problem. And how quickly you all could also solve it. Let we bring up the lower sector of the society economically. Let us teach and improve their conditions and improve their social settings and their mindset. I'll create some foundations as well. It have some already to help change that mindset of whatever exists in the communities, in urban communities, of a lack of love and carelessness and whatever. You all should be the first ones to contribute to that. A couple million ain't nothing to you. But an ice cream on a cone to a young child in Laventille or wherever else I'm back at it, where all over the country now have difficult circumstances. An ice cream on a cone means something to that child. The ability to jump on a bouncy castle ever so often and laugh and interact is a positive impetus in that child, is love being sown in that child, that when it becomes an adult will flourish. A child getting the opportunity to eat a meal and play pan and smile and laugh is a positive impetus that is going to bear fruit in the future. We don't want a nice society. We don't want that. All we want is money for ourselves, money for ourselves, money for ourselves, money for ourselves. We just yum-yums, we just eat up the whole place and destroy it and blah, 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 blah. We's low lives. We're not sophisticated in culture. We're not civilized. Trinbagonians, leaders, business people. We have no heart. We have no understanding of the interconnection of society. Come on. So we go to the break, we have the ads, and then I want to take some calls, please. Right? Blessings.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old. and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
The countdown has begun. One Caribbean Music Festival. This is not just a concert. This is an experience. The king of dancehall will take the stage after 13 years. Vybz Kartel. Saturday, May 31st, 2025 at Queen's Park, Savannah. A movement. A moment in history. The undisputed icon. Vybz Kartel.
Oh, you love the touch. See, don't gonna cheer where you want so much.
Delivering a performance like never before. One Caribbean Music Festival. Straight from Portmore to the Queen's Park, Savannah. The World Boss returns. And he's not coming along. May 31st, 2025. Queen's Park, Savannah.
Get your tickets at online on Island e-tickets. For more information, call or WhatsApp 794-OCMF. That's 794-6263. Or log on to OneCaribbeanMusicFestival.com.
All previously purchased tickets remain valid. One Caribbean Music Festival.
Powered by
California Stucco
Company Limited and sponsored by Cache.
The World Boss returns.
Trinidad, let's do it.
Everybody's talking future, but can they really give it to you? Want to know where to invest? Open an MPF.
The one fund that guarantees principal and interest earned, has no service charges, no penalties, gives anytime access, and offers projected interest of 3%.
On your future, let's begin with the MPF. You're bound to win.
The Mortgage Participation Fund from HMB, a subsidiary of Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Bank. Visit mympf.com and own your future.
We know that mom is so much more than just a mom. Find the perfect gift for her. Get her new furniture and save up to 50% off. That's not all. Get great gifts for her starting from $99. Plus, you can shop for her today and pay later. So let's celebrate mom, because to us, she's so much more. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Excuse me, time is running out and I need to find a gift for my mom.
Why don't you take her to City Furniture Sawa Branch? Calling out all moms, mommy, mama, ma on Saturday the 10th of May 2025. Come and celebrate with us. Free roses for the first 50 moms. Enjoy huge discounts on beds, mattresses, appliances, wooden furniture and sofa sets. Therapeutic Noche night mattresses from $7.99 up. Serta and Sealy, all size, same price. La Vida night mattresses, $11.99. Delightful Dreams, $14.49. New Yorker sofa set, $17.99. Brooklyn sectional, $14.99. Stoves, $12.99. Refrigerators, $23.99. Twin tubs, $13.99. Curbside delivery available nationwide. City Furniture, where spending less gets you more. Call 225-8398 for more info.
Mama, you're my sunshine. You show me the right way to go. Mama, you're my sunshine. I treat you better than the Cinderella in my...
The presence of oxygen is absolutely the absence of disease. Most chronic diseases that plague us are not happening to us, but is happening within us. We're literally eating ourselves to death, which means we're not living longer, we're dying longer. Join fitness expert Alloy Johnson, the founder of the healthiest corner on earth, located at number 92 East Drive, Chamfleur, every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. live on The Street 919 FM, where he shows you that healing the body's temple is easier than anyone would have led you to believe.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM radio. Here my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life. Looking
for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Hi there. I'm Lester Suglal, inviting you to join me on the first, second, and third Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. for the program Slow Gospel Music, and on the fourth and fifth Saturday from 8:30 p.m. for an extended version of Slow Gospel Music on Street 91.9 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And we are back. Good morning again to Trinidad and Tobago. It is not just in Trinidad and Tobago that these serious issues of equality have been raised throughout Western society and other societies as well. It is a pertinent issue on the front burner. On the front burner, I look towards congressmen in the United States like Bernie Sanders, who is a constant advocate against the vast inequality that is taking place, where in this greed-driven system, those who have money utilize the ability of that capital to make more money without much consideration to the poor and the working class. And we must have a system that has enough humanity in it. It has to have enough humanity in it. It has to have, as Auntie Kamala is saying, love in it, enough love in it, that it considers all of its people. Rethink. I want to ask the pastors, the pundits, the imams, everyone, spiritual leaders, to give a message that is in keeping with that spirit of humanity. Don't pander to whoever putting the most money in the charity box or whatever. Direct them in the right way. Help the spirit, help the soul. That challenge of wealth is a real challenge, you know. That challenge of power or money or wealth or whatever is a real challenge. You have to be able to overcome it. You have to be able to cleanse your wealth, or else it becomes your destruction. It becomes a zombie. and a fire that cannot be quenched. It drives you for more and more and more. And how much is sustainable in a society with limited resources? Don't we understand that by our excess, other people are depressed? We had to think about it, man. So we take the calls. 342-0081-4665-391. Or they can tell me if it's strippiness are talking. You know, some people let's be real vocal. They have to have a point though, eh? Right, blessed morning. Can't wait for July when we'll get our back pay and property tax. Yeah, agreed. I can't wait as well because that will have a extremely positive impact upon the economy and the society. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Yeah, peace be upon you this beautiful day, brother Ford.
Yeah, man. Peace be upon you as well. Welcome.
Yes, sir. Yes, I've been listening to your opening comments and they're all very much on point. And one of the things that I'd like to see change is that we should have a fixed date for election. And I think that what the present government should do is think about when they were in opposition and what it is they would have wanted, that they would have wished that, oh my gosh, I wish whoever the prime minister is didn't have so much food. And institute laws that like you said, that could limit that, because you're not going to be there all the time. Another time you might be on the other side again.
Yeah.
So you have people want now because they were there once before, and I think you had sufficient numbers, and certain things you never change. So there's a wake-up call. So I'm listening to you, brother, and like everything that you said this morning, you're very much on point, sir.
Yeah.
God bless you.
God bless you too, man. Thanks. Yeah, I would like to see, in addition to maybe more fixed dates, obviously there has to be some leeway in case, but it shouldn't be that it could be used as a tool to surprise the next one or whatever, but extraordinary circumstances take place sometimes. But I understand what you're saying as well. What I would like to see is the essential campaign finance reform. We have to reach a place where we set up a system where money is available for parties to campaign and they do not have to be dependent on financiers. It compromises the ability of government that parties that campaign need a lot of money and the money has to come from somewhere. And we need to put a structure in place where it comes from the people so that the people still owns government. Because if it comes from financiers, then they will dictate the policies of state. Many of the policies that our Prime Minister present has espoused, has spoken about, are in the interest of the people. But what about these financiers? Because every single party, except mine, broken party like that, right? Every single party, even the small ones, once they were able to do things, right? Once they're able to put on ads, put up banners, get airtime, organize, pay deposits. I lost my little deposit, my $5,000. Right? If you don't have money, they are stopping you from getting into a position where you could represent people. And I might be broke, but I feel that I might be a really good representative of people. But how people hearing my ideas? If I didn't have the opportunity of radio this morning, how people hearing your ideas? how people getting to know you to say, you know that man, I feel he gonna make a good representative, you know, I want him. Morning caller, welcome.
Morning, my brother, how are you going?
Good man, good. The best I've been in 10 years.
Right, that's very good. I hope that people can really hear you and relevant people, especially in authority, because you have a great connection with the ground, and fly on that and see how they can assist you in assisting the ground. You know, I wonder if anything will be done like with private businesses, that employees who work for a number of years and they have nothing to really get when they leave. I find the union and them should introduce some type of legislation so that encourage these relevant authorities. If you work a number of years in a private business, that you have something to get when you're leaving. You understand?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because things are very difficult, and as you saying, those that have, you know what I mean, those that keep making more and more all the time, and we keep supporting them too in a certain way. You understand? Because if our people are really conscious, right? If our people really get together, talking about African and Indian unite. Now you're seeing a lot of division coming with this victory by the UNC, but you know, if it is, we could see ourselves as Trinidadian, you understand, and try to move better with the country, get the country to move forward. Things will work out.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. People who didn't pay the property tax at all, do they have any penalty or anything to pay, or everything just squashed with that?
Well, I believe the minister said we are supposed to get returns if we paid. So if you didn't pay, more power to you. And I respect the people who rejected that.
I rejected it. I didn't pay any.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah.
Because you know, at the same station, I even heard callers say, I went and paid my property tax, yes, and I could have paid more too, you know, because it's for the community. You know what they did? They cut down the picking up of garbage and all these type of things to encourage people to go and pay, because they need money for the corporation. You understand? Wicked, yeah, man.
Manage the money that we have better. Work in government to make more money.
The kind of thing, yeah, exactly. You know, we have so much, you have regained so much good ideas. Even on your program here and also, you will put us call and you meet people on the ground with a lot of good ideas.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of moving forward, show the best and the most economical way we could do things and move forward. Because this is the biggest thing. I don't see our man how you could do inquiry into Petrotrain. So much inquiries. They tell you don't close it down, right? You understand? You spend millions of dollars with maybe about 5 or 6 different investigations into Petrotrain, and all of them, none set to close it down, but you end up closing it down. You understand? But then they say that was due to the alleged fake oil, which we have to pay back money and that now.
Yeah.
You know. But you have a good program going. You know, you keep it up, and I hope you have a very good connection with the ground, and I hope that the relevant authorities listen and could involve you in moving forward in that area. You understand?
Yeah. Thank you very much, man.
Take care and keep up the program, and all the best.
Yeah, man.
I didn't hear heavy on them yesterday. I don't know what is going on.
I'll ask them what's going on. I don't know.
All right. You take care and all the best, man.
Yeah, blessings to you too. So what we have seen is a government that is not totally in favor of big business alone, right? So they have changed the age of motor vehicles that are allowed to be imported to 6 years. And I know, some of the big players, Neil and Marcy, some of the other big boys would be a little upset about that, but it makes vehicles more affordable for people. Go ahead, caller.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Morning. Good, not too bad. Go ahead.
Good. Blessings. I just wanted to just elaborate a little more on what that last caller said. Now, I don't know if it was you were following, there were a lot of California wildfires and so forth.
Yes.
You remember the fires and thing, and they burned down a lot of Hollywood actors' homes and so forth.
Yes.
And somebody made this statement that, I think it's either Trump and them in the White House or something, said, or the governors in the area said, we didn't have enough funding. We didn't have enough funding to be able to fight the fires, etc. And somebody made this statement in the media that I believe there is enough funding. We want you all to prioritize the funding that we have available to you, that we give you as taxpayers. And governments come, governments go. Governments need to understand that key concept. It's like this, Mr. Bakker, right? When it is prices going up in the grocery, right? I don't get more money. I don't go and go to my employer and say, look, you need to give me more money because I need more money to survive. Prices going up. I need more money to survive. I have to prioritize on my money. So why it is fair for me to do it as a citizen, but the government gets to say, hey, like what the property tax and this tax and that. Why is it fair for the government to come and say they want more money, but when I come and I need more money, I am chastised. I no good. I not tightening my belt. I don't care about the nation. I going to run down the country. I don't know what I doing. Why is it fair to be bullied like this, Mr. Bakker? Is that fair to us?
Yeah, it's not fair at all.
It's not fair. And then as far as with respect to, that's an excellent point you're making with respect to the rich and so forth. The Bible speak about this, the rich will always be rich, The Bible try, better to go through the eye of a needle, easier for camels to go through eyes of needles and so forth, that they enter, for rich people to enter the kingdom of heaven and poor man's wealth and all of these things, right? But the rich do not care. They care to live on this earth. They don't care about heaven and kingdom and happiness and treating people good and things. I appreciate what you're doing. You're doing the best job. How we can get to that level, I don't know. I just say, why you need to make $1 billion profit? What you doing with our money? What you doing with $100 million that you can with 50 million? What you do, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you have poor people suffering, and and those are the same poor people that helping you out, going to your businesses and your franchises and eating a chicken and chips and buying tools from you and all kind of things.
They're not only the customers, they are also the workers.
Right.
Because no one man can make no $1 billion on your own.
Exactly.
Don't tell me this because of you and what you do.
Yeah.
Come on. Are we ain't stupid? We stupid?
But I hope you get a little, you did represent the people. I hope that somebody see that in the upper echelon. I would like to see you in the Senate as an independent senator, perhaps, representing the people, that voice of the people. Don't give it up. Your father was a man who said, hey, I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing this for the people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. You must understand the climate of the country when the PNM would have mismanaged all the economy and then NAR magically win. They tried to build it back up and then guess what? Why within 5 years we forget that and went back and voted in the PNM,
Yeah. No, I think a tremendous opportunity was squandered then. I think racism, listen to me carefully, racism in politics had a large part to play because from what I understand from our past Prime Minister, Mr. Pandey, and from Mr. Humphrey and others, Mr. Robinson was extremely negative towards them. So much so that he broke the party into pieces, sent them into the backbench, and that type of authoritarian attitude is like it was a bully back then too. Now.
Correct.
That caused people hopes to be dashed because you are people representing a whole sector of the society looking forward to changes and positivity for East Indian people in Trinidad. And then a man get power with 2 seats from Tobago, and he's Napoleon. I think that was actually his name to him. He turned into Napoleon, and when they bring board members, however, I think he take 2 out of 100. Listen to Parliament channel now, with them speaking about the things that Mr. Robinson did. And we's liars in this society, We's a set of liars because the truth is right in front of us.
Yeah.
And we don't tell the truth.
Well, lying and deception has always been the case. When you look at Columbus discovered Trinidad and Tobago, and it is that mantra that the 1%. I say 1%, but I don't mean Trinidad 1%. The world 1%,
yeah.
Probably even less than that, right? Has always put on the world's population. When Mr. Baca, will Trinidadians, when will poor people get educated? When will they say, you know, what that man saying? I think I need to listen a little bit more, you know. When we will stop getting fooled, boy, or is it that the earth doomed? Is it that all religious books teach us that the earth is doomed and they just trying their best, and that's why we will always be like this? The rich will continue to get richer and trodden upon the poor people. When will people wake up? I'm happy to say a little bit that at the last election, some people wake up, about 100,000 PNM voters seem to have woken up.
Yeah.
Right? They seem to have woken up. If you look at the statistics, that's not the 300 and something thousand votes the PNM is normally get. You understand? So let's see if it is that going along in the next 5 years. I'm happy to see that people starting to care. You kind of feel a little hope in the country.
Yeah.
When you hear murder happen, you're thinking, I feel somebody got to deal with that, you know. You know what I mean? Rather than the last minister saying, I know he walk, and this is not my walk. And we were getting blamed for a lot of things, eh?
Yeah. Everything is the people's fault.
Everything is my fault. Crime is my fault. I spending too much on all these things. I not spending too much. I just trying to give my family a comfortable living. I'm not going out there and robbing nobody. I paid my taxes on time. I'm going out there and working hard for the people. I have a government job. You understand what I'm saying? I'm working for all of us. You understand? I'm working to build this society where my founder flesh. You understand?
Yeah, man.
It's sad, but it's sad and hurtful to see what has happened in the last 5 years. I'm telling you, Mr. Baca, my attitude, just with that election win, I am a different person. I want to ask Trinidadians, do you not feel, some of you, do you not feel like you're feeling happier, you're feeling less stressed, you're able to deal with stress and aggressive situations a little bit different?
Yeah.
You understand? Me and my wife having a better relationship and all, my family and everything are happier, I'm not as aggressive, I'm not on edge, I'm not stressed out. I have a hope that maybe I will get a little 10% from the PSA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A little hope.
A little hope, brother man. I know we are asking for, a little hope. So you doing great work. I really want to say, I'm sorry about your deposit. If I could contribute in some way to help you financially, brother man, because I know you're a man. I listen to you every
Nice small thing.
God bless you in his heart and do what you're doing. Excellent job.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very, very much. God bless. Yeah. Morning, caller. Welcome.
Morning, Mr.
Morning.
Mr. Ford, I just wanted something that has been on my mind for some time now.
I getting some feedback though. See if you could rectify that, because we won't hear you properly.
Like that phone game.
Go ahead.
But what I'm saying is respect to that upper chamber, that is the Senate. I am saying that you need to deal with that. You can't have, you need fresh ideas, you need good ideas. You need people who would give the appearance of independence. And they need to deal with that. You have young, brilliant people around, you have other people, you have this fellow from Tobago, if you want to bring somebody from Tobago, you have this fellow, this James fellow, I don't know the economist, Barnes James and those people, you have other people there. You could bring them into the Senate. You have people in Trinidad here, you could bring into the Senate as independent.
Sorry, your line was very, very bad. So can you call back? 342-008-146-65391. Can you call back, because the line was very bad. I don't want, the feedback was terrible, right? Apologies. And they have a couple good people. I think Senator Vieira is someone who always tries to be, positive in a certain way. There's Helen Francis. There's Helen Drakes, I believe, as well. There are positive people in the society, and we need to bring them to the fore. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Baca.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Baca, last time you said that I can do proper sign, and you think all of the last time when I told you that we're going to have earthquakes and things, you said you don't believe in that, and basically all around the world is continually, even after yesterday, experiencing earthquakes.
Well, we always have earthquakes in our on Earth because of the whatever tectonic plates and stuff.
Mr. Baca.
No, but we always have earthquakes, though.
Mr. Baca, could I speak? You want to play, you are quite a genius, although you are not. Because we always have earthquakes, they are not in this magnitude that we are having, Mr. Baca. So try not to try a spin doctor with somebody else, not with me. No, I'm here to give you some prophecies.
Right.
What is going to take, because basically...
But relax a little bit. Breathe, I'm giving you time, so just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Baca, what kind of thing that is that you are speaking over me?
No, but relax.
That is not proper training, Mr. Baca. You went to university and all these sorts of things, so there is protocols. So let us try to have protocols, Mr. Baca. And I'm thinking, we are having a monologue or a dialogue. You see, if both of us speaking together, we cannot end up hearing what...
Go ahead and make your point, please, and relax.
I am quite relaxed, Mr. Baca.
Good, go ahead.
Yes, but as I said, I'm here to do some proper signs. That's how I did it on my Facebook account, because all of it is basically published internationally.
Go ahead.
And I'm doing it here. And I'm here for, I don't have parties, I don't have leaders, I don't have things. I have followers, as I told you, on my following list. Right? So now here, this is what is basically going to happening right now, going to be happening, and you can check around the world with the wars and all the different set of things. Just the same way we will see America B-fighter bombers going to be getting missiles and end up hit because they're going to be using them just down in Yemen and down there in Israel, right? Just as they're going to lose tanks, warships, and things, right? That is one thing there. Now, we are going to also be experiencing volcanoes, eruptions. Yes, we are going to have flooding in hills, from hills to plains. So we're going to see the mountain is going to be moving. We're going to experience a lot of, as I told you, a lot of volcanoes. They are now discovering a lot of underwater volcanoes. So that volcanoes that is on top that you could check. Basically, they are discovering a lot of underwater volcanoes all around the sea. And you can check with Stephen Burns on YouTube, and you will see that because he gave the daily predictions, not predictions really, geological, where they're happening and everything. Right? And I'm also going to tell you what is going to happen also here in our country for our Prime Minister, sitting presently, to over 100,000 and something people and more in this country. They are all going to have incurable diseases where they cannot find, doctors are going to find no cure for, no money cannot help. A lot of people is going to end up paying for what we've done. Simply as things. Just the same way we have to be now start bracing for a lot of floodings, and as I said, in the hills and plains, because basically right now the supernova in the sun, as we are experiencing heat wave all around the world, has a big hole in it, and basically every 48 days, when it moves and it reaches a certain point, it triggers off magnetic storms that kick off earthquakes and all kinds of things, knocking out the electrical substations and from lights and all kinds of things. So we are now reaching to this catastrophic time. So we have to be prepared for all these disasters that are basically coming out now. And earthquakes are just been striking at any time. So and we are going to have to expect all these floodings and all these sorts of things, Mr. Baca. So I have done my part, Mr. Baca. I tell you what is here. And also, we have to also check out the police also for the traffic ban, because we are going to be experiencing that magnetic storm throw off all your gadgets, and basically have a lot of car accidents. So they can basically maybe solve a lot of things by having police officers along places to check those things that basically people don't get into a thing, or otherwise we're going to be experiencing a lot of car accidents, Mr. Baca.
All right.
I'll stop here for now, Mr. Baca.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Morning, caller. Just careful with your feedback. Go ahead. Morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. Yeah, I think it's a good time now for the minister to extend the tariff that the looking round government to give themselves. So now that you know the Prime Minister, she should resort to the old salary.
Okay.
Because now it's the cabinet, more ministers, means bill goods. And since that, there's a lot of things that can't go the various so that the last deal is dead. Said or we have to find about $400 million to refund the people who are really paid, because by law we were forced to pay because it became law. If we didn't pay, there was a penalty for that, right?
Yeah.
So now that they have to refund us.
Yeah.
Now, with the revenue streams that dropped in, so they know there was wicked P&L and them was only making around what $48 billion and then a $50 billion budget. Now with a revenue drop, we might be making about, let me say, $47 billion, and now we gain 10%. All of us will be getting 10%, so that would be back with the cloud, and going forward, it will be a couple $1 billion now that you have to add to the money that you borrow for your budget, because your budget is the estimated expenditure for the coming year.
Yeah.
On top of that, now you will also have to put money for fixing infrastructures and other things. So you have to add that to your recurring expenditure because of inflation. Prices are going up, tariffs going up. So that means a lot of things that we important, we'll have to pay more for it. So I want to see how we're going to balance our expenditure.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging. It's going to be a challenging situation for any government. And I'm glad that you raised those issues, because we have to be cognizant of it and understand that it's not magic, but they will do their best. So yeah.
I hope so, because one thing, for the last thing they do, we still have $175 million to collect from the guys and them, plus interest. So they may come up to about 200, because the longer they stay to pay us, because we have one in the quarter, it has to be paid. So the longer they stay, the more interest we get in. And I just hope we get that, and we get the 400 million from EMBD. That will help the country a lot, because our expenditure is going up, and our revenue earning is dropping. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope that we can make articulations to the people in our society who have won economically over the past decades, and they are willing to put a helping hand in Trinidad when we are going through difficult times. I hope that they are willing, because there's Trinbagonians too, you know. Welcome, caller. Morning.
Hello, morning. Hey, you have real patience, you know.
What I do, boy?
You have patience. You have patience like Job.
What my father
I
say?
don't understand.
My father used to say, more patience than a hospital. You know how it does go.
Well, boy, I agree with your father 1,000%.
Yeah.
Boy, this man call and talking about earthquake and all. Right now, we don't want to hear them kind of talk. If you're a philosopher, partner, write a book.
Yeah, that small thing. He's saying is prophecy, but it's predictions, because it always gonna have earthquakes based on the science of the thing. You know, so I don't really see how that is a prophecy. It might be a prediction, and I respect a person who is looking at the science of the world, what is taking place in terms of our climate, and could predict certain things, but that don't mean it's prophecy, and we're happy for him to share his view, right? So no problem. Don't study that. Go ahead. You wanted to make...
At the same time, at that time and place for everything, right now, the country now come out of brutalized 9 years. We have our new people in office. We're looking to see what they could do and how they could make things better. Right now, we don't want to hear them talk with sidetrack. What money that bring into the country with that conversation he had with you?
Yeah, that's nothing, man. Don't study that. Power to the people, right? Let me go forward.
All right. I'll go on.
Yeah, blessings.
Later.
Yeah. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning to you, my brother.
Morning, brother. Morning.
Yeah. When the exchange our rights for their laws, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
They put up doors and barriers, the rules, they cannot trespass. The coming in front of the stage and promise us things that we will do for us.
Yeah.
You understand? And behind that, they're doing with everything.
Yeah.
So people expect, and we don't know how much barrel oil is going out. Them to say 100 barrels to go, and them to say 25. Methanol, pitch, this, that. We have no social, economic awareness. The review of that. That's why the laws and barriers and all them things.
Yeah.
You understand?
We have to pay attention to we business, brother. I hear you.
You understand what I'm saying? And then when they do wrong, they buy that. So when some talk about it, the other half coming to eat up your head because I their party. So we just dumb. We just blind. That is all that we are doing.
Yeah.
We have nobody on the inside to say, well, yes, excellent amount of money coming in, excellent amount of money went out. We don't have that. We have to listen to what they are saying, and that's bad.
I go look and see just now. I might be able to peep and see. I go see if I can peep and tell you, right?
I want to go inside it so bad.
Yeah.
You understand? But what I'm saying, who put them there? It's we put them there, so we
It's
have
the
to
people,
know.
yeah.
They're going to umbrella for infrastructure.
Yeah.
Come to the people and say, well, look, we're going to build a bypass there. And we will tell you, it's either yes or no.
Yeah, if it making sense or not.
That money, yes, because that money could fix about 3 communities.
Yeah, and we prefer when people starving. You tell me, when people starving, isn't it more important for somebody to eat than to build a bypass?
Yeah, son, look the bill, the incredible, you have bypass bill. I still have to.
Yeah.
So what we were trying to do to us.
And they could have tell people here what's going on. All you do remote work, some all you stay home and work, especially the women and stuff or whatever, so they could maybe spend some more time, pick up all your children too, and have that interaction with all your children. We could have do that and ease the traffic instead of spending 200 million and take that 200 million and put it into community development or food for children, or because it have people malnourished in Trinidad and Tobago, you know.
Yeah, you just telling me, I just see that every day.
If I had 10 hamper today and I say I had 10 hamper, you know 1,000 people calling me for them 10 hamper?
Oh, yes, and what's man? These people are men. You see 1%? Anytime when you say anything and money comes, you further than one skateboard and all kind of things, you 1%. Then have to take all the money for before it's going to a dream, you know. But people don't know what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
These people are billionaires, you know.
Yeah. No, it had people in Trinidad and Tobago living a different life, you know.
But like we share the cake, like we share.
And I just always saying to them is, we just saying to them,
not doing nothing so we
yeah.
say, well, hey, what's going on? You see, that is the people and the money.
Yeah.
Leave that. Like, you have no say. You understand? All right. It's the class here. You will be the 3 women will be controlling things. As the class all around this time. You see all around this, anybody will have 3 women will be controlling things. These are 3 women. These are mothers. All you see about the successful, all your mothers. Don't let people remember all in history as a prime minister. Let people remember all in their destiny.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Do things to uplift people so that they remember all in their destiny.
Yeah.
Not in their, not in history.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, my brother, have a bond.
Yeah, man. We take some calls, right? Have a few people on the line. Keep calling. Sorry about that. And as soon as I hang up, they hang up too. Right. Good morning.
Yeah, man. Good morning, Imam Fuad Abubakar. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Well, I like to complain sometimes, you know, but say what?
No problem, man. Go ahead. This is a forum where you're welcome. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know, when you're looking for solutions for a situation, bringing up and consciousness that would elevate the mind to move forward. It's like positivity towards solution and forwardness. Not holding back with a set of unnecessary talk. That is all I will say. In many respects, not one person alone, but that's a general something. Anyway, let me shift it since I don't make my complaint. You said something earlier on in your excerpt on thing, unchecked greed. And I like to pick phrases out that make sense, and it will make sense to the whole topic, because when you start the topic in the first place, you start with up when you put people on power, they have ultimate power, and you know ultimate power corrupts. So I follow in that way to acknowledge the reality why when I say that we must have check in the parliament, check in the country towards the unchecked greed, hardness, selfishness, pompousness, arrogance, ignorance. When these things unchecked is why we having problem today, and most of us wouldn't really recognize, because evil, corrupt, evil, anyhow you want to put a lie, it corrupt. Anyhow you want to put the indifference of what is nature to gain truth and consciousness in life, it corrupts. So, in that respect, when you use the word unchecked greed, one time you put an opposite to that, because you have to have somebody who check in on the unchecked greed. So, this is the reason why I keep on and always, as long as people don't understand that even if in your household, I'm talking about, you know, and if things going wrong in the household, believe me, it must have, and it does have, somebody to check the wrong thing in the household. Now, if we as a people living a life under whatever predicament it may be, because life comes from some far way to now in its own prospect, or however it reached to this. But things keep going on. And I have a way to say, well, you know, when you need an answer, you just ask a question. Now the question will bring an answer, but you know that after you then get an answer, you still have questions to ask about the same question you asked until you reach the last answer. And when you reach that answer, well, you know that is the truth right, because you have no more questions. Now this is how this society supposed to run. So we are adding people. When we vote people, when we put people in position, and it's only when we wait when time to vote, that's when we kind of wake up to know who to vote. Now we're studying people, because the scattered amount of people who keep it collectively on the road, not in parliament, not in the places where the legislative situation is going on. The place who have the government, they don't really study you. And most of the time, government don't study individual person. They just study our people when you see like how we grind up and we go behind the government that we seems to see giving with problem, when we gang up there. But that's a big revolution, but that's a different kind of revolution. That is a revolution that you could make a mistake so badly, because you're working off a plain moment. So, you know, we have to really come to realize that we need to form something, and I will keep on pointing this, because if we don't, we will never come to a consciousness of governing ourselves. We must, as a people, come together. It's something that many truth and unity. Them two words there, we hate them two words so much, and it's the two words that are going to bring benefit to us as a society. being truthful, being conscious, live the truth, observe the truth, acknowledge the truth, so that don't care how a lie comes, it has to stay away because it's not going to fit the purpose of their life. And unity, you can't do nothing separate individually. Being fragmented as how we are, we cannot do nothing. So we really have to unite. So if we could put those two words together, and the head, we have a lot of intelligence out here, because I don't see. Look, I just like saying, but I don't see. And believe me, look, my mouth, it's as conscious as intelligence. It's very intellectual, because it has a sense of the environment, it has a sense of the people, it has a sense of awareness how to go forward.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have to...
Close up.
Yeah, okay, so, I mean, you only have one. You have a party, you say you have one party. I want to be in that party. You give me, anytime you bounce up with me, tell me which party is coming in that party.
No.
You telling me.
No
All
problem.
right, so we go fix up. I'll give the explanation to the king, and I hope everybody hear it. Everybody hear it. We have to unite and be truthful to our circumstances and go forward. Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, morning, brother Fuad.
Yeah, morning, brother.
Morning, brother. Blessings. I will be brief. You know, I think normally when I call, I just speak about country first, Trinidad first.
Yes, you do. Welcome. Thanks. We appreciate it.
Welcome. We are about future. But I personally, I would say it. Some callers on this radio station, and I choose them with carefully, it's all about love, it's all about country, it's all about moving forward. But some callers, they need help. Some callers need help, for real. I wouldn't call them, but whether it's Mr. West, whether it's President, they need help. And somebody else need to be, I would also give the idea that you will need maybe an intern to pull the calls to help with maybe administration.
Yeah. And I take your advice. We'll see what we could do in the future. But like I said, there's another cost to a challenging program economically. Go ahead. You have any other
any other suggestions? Well, no. I mean, well, I will give something positive as you know, inspire, man.
Yeah.
You guys might have patience. Maybe same way like police officers. And some persons have different blessings and gifts. You know, some people might have patience, but we shouldn't just abuse the patience. We could use it in positive ways. So those callers who just calling and venting, they're choosing not to work on the issues. They want to keep the issues and they want everybody to be unhappy. And I think that is true. But to move forward, it's about country first, agriculture, solar panels. If they could reduce and subsidize hybrid vehicles. No, before that now crossed my mind is maybe CNG vehicles might be better than hybrid. Even though it's 40, but what CNG stands for is compressed natural gas. Another scientist, another biologist, but maybe somebody could look into it. Better for the atmosphere. Hybrid vehicles, the battery does run down. I think that's it. That's definitely our make space for the callers, but
thanks.
Maybe management could look into.
We'll see what we could do. We could see what. Just remember, everything has a cost as well, right? So
everything has a
try.
cost.
Yeah.
But the persons who angry and things, management could look into that.
Blessings, man. Yeah,
you do blessings.
Yeah, blessings to you too, man.
Love.
Yeah. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Morning again. Good point by that last caller, but these hybrid vehicles, those batteries cost a lot and damage the environment a lot.
Yeah, there's
the research on that.
Yeah, there's positives and negatives to everything.
Yeah, we're supposed to be not moving. We're supposed to move away from that. I think the CNG probably might be the better one to go with. And
man mustn't predict things. God know what everything that is ungodly to have these types of prediction and so on.
Yeah, well, prophecy, but if you could predict things based on science and then you could prepare. But prophecy per se, maybe you need to go to whatever scripture. And nothing wrong with that, but we not...
Yeah,
we could look forward as well. We could look and prepare based on what we see that may come in our society so that we're in a position we could protect the loss of life. We could, stuff like that. So I'm not negative towards sensible things.
One thing I want the government to look into seriously. A bridge that costs $2 million, a contractor getting $50 million to do that.
Yeah.
You understand? This is what they suck the country dry.
Yeah.
The contractors and them. And they have to have a serious and a strict, right?
Check on that.
Thing on that. Because that is what is liquid apparel by these contractors, besides the big businessmen. As you said, you make X amount of profit. Look at the invert. All you hold people and beat them down the islands. They want to catch a little bait there to do a little fishing and thing. You can't go 2 miles wrong his property. I wonder if that still stands today.
Yeah.
Those just that guarding the waters and you can't go there and all this kind of thing. That's real nonsense. You don't own the sea.
Yeah.
You understand? That's real nonsense. I hope
good.
the families could pursue some serious legal action now. You understand?
It's good to end some of that. It's good to have some fresh faces.
This type of thing. You understand? We have to stand up as a people. You understand? Not one thing could do what they want and nobody ain't come out and say nothing. But everybody done ready to come out already. You understand? That is nonsense. We have to come together. African and Indian unite.
Yeah, correct.
And let's move forward.
Yeah.
Take and keep up the good work. And I really hope, and I hope them listening to get you up and running with that connection with the ground that you have, right?
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
All the best, man.
All the best to you. Yeah. If our government is truly interested in the people and the ground, then I will have an integral part to play with them. So don't worry, you don't have to worry too much. Go ahead, caller.
Morning, Fred.
Morning, brother. Welcome.
Listen to the conversation. What hybrid do you think damages the environment? I'd like to get some on that, please.
Sorry, I didn't catch you there. The line kind of not 100%. Can you repeat?
How does hybrid damage the environment?
Oh, right. Yeah, I think the battery, the ore that you need, the mining that is done to get it is extremely dangerous and difficult as well to the environment and other things. I think that's part of the problem. But we could discuss it in detail in the future when we do the research, right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, man, blessings. Thanks for the inquiry. Right, so we just come into a close, so I would have given the caller an opportunity just to close off, right? Because we almost out of time. Right, we just have 1 minute, caller, sorry, but you can make your point quickly.
One question. If you have to change anything that you would like to see done right away, what will be your first choice of that change for the government that would benefit the population?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Yeah, I would be definitely interested in ensuring that the wider population, the masses of the people, get more. So as soon as they could sort out these salary negotiations and stuff and put money into the pockets of working class people to stimulate the economy so that poor people who are interconnected as well, we would see a better economy and live, because we just want money to live. That is something that I would have advanced very, very quickly. Very, very quickly in this society. And however you can ensure that citizens are able to eat, literally, and survive, that is the direction that I would have taken immediately. Because there are people on the edge, literally on the edge, contemplating life and death, their children starving when they're not in school, getting school feeding, etc. Right? So those are things that I would have immediately tried to deal with, and then focus on so many other issues that we have. Crime, which is associated with poverty, and social issues as well, and other things. Right? So blessings to everybody. We on again tomorrow from about 6:10 to 8. Peace and blessings. Thank you all for joining me. Spread the message. Take care.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the Street 919 FM.
The mid-year